We're live. Matt's looking for us in the comments. We are here, Matt, live and direct. We were kind of fucking off behind the scenes here, but we're back at it now. Anyway, usually don't do this on Fridays, but we had a few things going on in the news, so I figured we'd get in and do a little talking. Got the National Guardsmen, of course, the young lady that was shot. She did pass away, and I just wanted to discuss a little bit on whether or not those type of people like her and other men and women that go into them situations are prepared enough. So we'll get into that. Ran across a crazy, headline about these pedos being offered $100 to participate in some fucking survey. So we'll dig into that a little bit. The Campbell Soup, I'm sure everybody knows what that is. They just fired an exec for the type of description he gave of the product. Uncle guns down a nephew over some barbecue chicken. And Trump speaks a little facts about Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. And a lot more. We'll see what we can get to tonight. So, which one y'all want to jump into first? Let's
the pedos and $100.
All right. Ding, 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 ding. All right. Yeah, it's funny. It didn't really say a lot about what the survey was, but while I was digging into it, I was noticing that they've got this. It's a whole kind of organization they have where it's a virtuous pedophiles forum that this person hosts, and it's the same person that a few years back was trying to normalize the MAP thing, the minor attracted people. It was the same person that was behind that, basically trying to get people to have sympathy for people that are attracted to children because of, quote unquote, they have a problem that they can't, control, which I do believe. I believe that, but now they're giving out $100. No, they're giving out $100 gift cards for participants to sign up and basically just admit that, yes, I'm attracted to children. And this freak that runs this thing is trying to do some sort of survey, but it's supposed to be geared towards making other options for these people to, I guess, look at and get pleasure out of instead of actually harming a child. So it's kind of weird because I see it from both ways. Like, yeah, that would be great if you can give them something else to occupy their fucking time. But what they've proposed is like access to, whether it be AI or what, but child porn that these people can look at instead of actually touching a child. And
what? No.
Right. It's kind of like, and I don't think they mean like real, child, but where it's real children involved, but some sort of AI type shit.
Yeah, but eventually it's not going to be enough for them.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking, and I just don't think that's going to, fix that urge, because everybody, go ahead.
Weren't they making like toddler sex dolls or some shit for them?
That was something else that was thrown around. It was probably behind this same damn group. But, the group was founded in 2012, and it's trying to destigmatize of the pedophilia, basically, in order to facilitate like harm prevention and personal support. So they're hiding behind, we're trying to do, make it to where they don't have to harm kids, which everybody's for. Like, well, of course. But just in the weirdest ways, like you said, giving them access to photos and videos, whether it be real or not, it's still it just seems so sick and perverse that it's hard to even like be on board with something like that, Now, Could it help? Could it save a child from being victimized in the long run? I don't know. I mean, is it worth it then,
Where is Chris Hansen when you need him?
Well, the good thing is these people that sign up for it, it's like, well, we got them. It may be a Chris Hansen sting,
Yeah.
No, but like I said, it wasn't so much about the survey because they don't really give a lot of details about what this person's wanting to survey. But it just had me thinking about the whole cause as a whole, basically, of giving these pedos something else to look at instead of real children. But I'm kind of with what Kristen said in the beginning. Does it really stop there?
No.
I don't know. Kristen's like, I don't fucking sympathize with him at all.
No, and
No.
anybody who signs up to do the little survey, they should just kill them right there.
Well, and supposedly he was spinning it like people that are signing up, they're more along the lines of saying, yes, I have a problem and I want to know how to deal with this problem without it affecting children. So it just sounds like they're trying to glorify this organization that they got going, like it's something, good that we should all jump behind.
Oh, these people, they're coming for help. No.
Yeah.
I don't care. At all.
It's I don't either. I mean, because to me, I'm with you. I just don't think it stops at looking at a screen or a picture or something. Eventually, you're going to want that real human on human activity. You know what I mean? And of course, unfortunately, these people aren't attracted to adult humans. Yeah. So that was that whole push, like I said a while back, with the map, because they didn't want you to call them pedos no more. That's demoralizing. You can't do that. And it's like, no, well, that's what they're going to be called.
Yeah,
so,
we can. So
and will.
Well, yeah, and the sad thing is there is no cure. So I guess trying to do something is like, well, some people may look at it like, well, at least they're trying to do something, this person, but
no, it's a waste of time. You can't fix that.
Right. And the person behind it is basically one of them. So it's almost, I don't fall for it. I just don't believe it. I don't believe this person's really trying to do any good. I think they're trying to develop a community of people that are like-minded so they can feel normal, and it's like, there's nothing normal about it. So let's not.
Yeah, we need like an
that.
Ashley Madison for the pedo survey takers.
Ashley Madison.
Yeah, that's the one where the website with it was like that secret dating website or whatever. People were cheating on their spouses.
Hacked into it.
Yeah, somebody hacked it. And it's going to happen if people fill out the forms for this survey. Somebody's going to put their fucking names out, which they should,
yeah, leak that shit.
No, but like I said, it was just more of, I started digging into this whole like process behind that this person's trying to do. And I'm thinking, oh my God. And I forgot about it. But then I remember when I saw the map thing, I remember that being talked about a couple of years ago. And this was the asshole behind it. And like I said, trying to normalize these people by not calling them pedophiles no more. They're just minor attracted persons.
Weren't they having meetings in the woods and shit? I saw something about like their secret woods meetings and
there's no telling, man. And people gotta screw loose, man. That's probably part of what he's complaining about. We have to hide and have secret meetings, Instead, they could just all sit around and beat off the pictures of children, I guess. I don't know.
I wish they would have a meeting and hang up signs and shit.
And let people know.
Yeah, we're having a map meeting right here on Thursday.
Right. Yeah, that would be a good one to crash. We will crash that party. Assholes. But anyway, man, that officers, of course, I say officers, the National Guardsmen that were shot. One of them has passed, a young lady. Kind of started, making me kind of dig a little deeper in that and thinking a little bit on that. And I was wondering if these people that, they go into these domestic situations like this, these, whether it be soldiers or, the National Guardsmen, whatever you want to call them, that they're not going in it like it's a war zone. You know what I mean? So the same precautions aren't being taken. And I'm just wondering if that's something that needs to be fixed, or is that too military-like to be in civilian situations like that on our homeland? I mean,
wait, what happened?
Well, the DC, I don't know if you saw, if you apparently didn't pay no attention, but there were two National Guardsmen. They were out there, trying to patrol DC, because Trump sent hundreds of them over there to Washington, DC to try to curb some of the crime. Mm-hmm. Well, for the last couple of weeks or so, the politicians on the Democratic side have been demonizing these people. Just the same buzzwords they use about everybody they don't like. They're evil. They're Nazis. They're in these cities just trying to, arrest people for nothing and just having a free for all. And instead of just saying what it is, your city's overrun with crime and they're in there trying to help. Now some say it's not their place, that the government should stay out of it and let these local leaders deal with it. But Trump was looking at it like, well, they're not dealing with it, so I will. Now, the problem is, they were there, I think yesterday just broke. There was a lone gunman that decided to sneak up on a couple of them and shoot them. And he killed one of them. They both survived at the time. They went to the hospital in critical condition. Young people, I want to say they were in their early 20s. It just started doing this shit with the National Guardsmen, the service. And so anyway, he shot 2 of them. He was injured himself, but he lives. So of course he's in prison now or in jail. But one of them did die today. She passed away, the young lady that was shot. And like I said, it opened up a broader question of, should they go into these places preparing like they're going to a war zone with at least the mentality of it?
Yeah, I think they should definitely have heads on a swivel at all time, but I guess it's easy to let your guard down when you're standing there for 6 days and nothing's happened at all. But you also don't want to have to just go to work and ride around town and it looks like, September 31st, New Orleans, of 2005, where it's just full geared National Guard running around. But I would say let them hang out in armored trucks, Yeah. Instead of standing on the street completely out in the open. And I don't know.
Well, I think part of it is traditionally like the military, the training emphasizes, war fighting in foreign environments where, basically rules of engagement, they often allow for lethal force against clear adversaries, Well, in domestic deployments, like in D.C., it's more about, I guess, protecting infrastructure and managing protest and enforcing some laws that are already on the books, but they're not there to really show force, I guess, so to say, like when you're deployed overseas and it's actual war. So I guess that makes it sort of a tough thing to address because you definitely don't want the government to be able to just send military soldiers into your city and just run fucking rogue and like they're in fucking Afghanistan. But if you're going to send these people anywhere, I just feel like they need to be prepared a little bit better for situations like, happened yesterday. Because some of these people go in there and they're unarmed, some of these National Guardsmen, and it's like, why would you send them anywhere unarmed, especially with the way that the rhetoric is nowadays and how everything, so political and amped up that there's always a threat of violence.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know who to pass the blame to, if any, besides the asshole that actually did the act. But, it could be Trump. Some people blame Trump, saying they shouldn't even be there.
Yeah, what is there any information about what they were doing previous to the gunmen popping out? Like, were they just hanging out on the street corner? Was there a purpose to the vicinity that they were in? You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's a good question, and it's something that we should probably research and find out for sure, because it is a good question. I don't know exactly what they were doing. Now, I saw another video today of the actual, once the shootings were going down, and the other guardsmen returning fire on this asshole. So I saw that, that was just kind of another video. But as far as anything beforehand and what they were actually doing, I haven't seen anything. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
But, I think it's kind of like you said, they get a little, you get lackadaisical. You're in an environment, you're in a city in America. So you're not thinking much. You're just sent there to kind of make sure things don't get out of hand. But to me, that it's not enough. It doesn't do any justice for the men and women that you're sending into these situations,
No, definitely. And I was just kind of, answering the question as far as should they be stationed around the city as if they're in like an active war zone. And I don't think so, but I don't know that it'd be necessary if they were like, look, we're going to, this 6-block area with a mission, and weren't just hanging out on the street corner, before or after the fact. Like, I guess you don't want them armored up head to toe, but you also don't want them to be sitting ducks. You know what I mean?
Right. No, and that's basically what they were yesterday.
Right.
Because it's not like he picked them off with a sniper rifle. I mean, he walked up to them with a handgun.
Exactly.
That should have never, no. You know what I mean? That should have never. But that, to me, that's not putting your soldiers or whoever you're sending out there in the mind frame that, hey, this is fucking war. Now, I don't want y'all going out there, taking out people, like, you know what I mean? But at least you act like you're being sent on a mission. You got to do it. You got to do it a little different than, like we stated before, than if you're just going to some foreign land fighting some foreign enemy. Of course, you can't just, treat your citizens like that. But the mentality of protecting yourself needs to be the same.
Absolutely.
And apparently that just wasn't preached enough, because 2 of them got hit from a damn pistol yesterday.
Yeah, and that's nuts. So, I mean, definitely they need to go in with at least the mindset of like, this is an active, like,
right.
You're could be shot at any time. So you need to be expecting it, and you need to either be somewhere with a purpose or be the fuck out of there, not just, we're not hanging out, having conversations, morning coffee, and you know what I mean?
No, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how you fix that, because the other alternative isn't to, like you said, send them in there where it's just like no holds barred, because technically there wasn't anything going on. They're just there, I guess, to just kind of deter crime.
Right.
I think that's all they're really there for, is just the show of force, to where people might calm down a little bit in these cities. But apparently you got one asshole that decides that's just not going to fly where he's at. And then you find out so much more about the dude that shot them, man. I don't know if you looked into that.
Is there more
at
info
all.
coming out?
Oh my God, dude. It's like CIA shit. And
was he mentally ill?
Well, that's what they're right. They're kind of leaning now towards PTSD. Because he's got some affiliation with military training, and our CIA. Yeah, I mean, it goes deep, man. It's been crazy, and it's not just like not Candace Owens deep, like shit that's been, it's true. Like, people are finding all this out because it's just, I guess, it's public knowledge now, and
yep.
So I'm trying to pull up. Let me see what all this background. There you go. All right, I still can't pronounce his name. Ramanulia Laka. I don't even know what the fuck.
Ramen noodles.
Like, yeah, exactly. A bunch of fucking letters thrown together. I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name, because I'm gonna slaughter it. But let's see. They are saying, highlight his role in the controversial zero units as evidence of U.S. Let's see. Let me see. The background have exploded since the shooting. The conversation often revolves around his CIA ties, potential trauma from U.S.-backed operations. Let me see. The common thread. Okay. Well, yeah, like Kristen said, a common thread is a mental health thing. They're blaming a lot of, like I said, the PTSD. But trying to get the information on the CIA.
Was he like in the CIA or something?
Yeah, let me see. I don't want to butcher it, so I'm trying to get it. Let's see. He underwent extensive CIA and U.S. government vetting, including checks against terrorism database. So apparently he was vetted, which a lot of people were saying he wasn't. But let's see. Law enforcement, CIA, immigrant, early in life, military. Let's see. Grew up in Khost province in eastern Afghanistan. He served in the Afghan army for approximately 10 years, working alongside U.S. Special Forces troops in counterterrorism operations. He was later recruited into the Zero Units, which is also known as National Strike Units, elite CIA-backed paramilitary forces integrated into Afghanistan's National Directorate of Security. So basically, he had a shit ton of training. These units modeled after U.S. special operations like Navy SEALs, conducted high-risk night raids, intelligence gathering. So this guy's got a crazy fucking background, which, of course, that led to a lot of talk about, was this false flag? Like, was this done by the U.S.? Of course, is where it always turns to.
That's what CIA, I was going to ask you.
Yeah, did the CIA orchestrate this?
Where's the conspiracy? I was waiting on it.
That's where it went, and I'm thinking, here we go again.
Here we go.
The CIA, they're not innocent. They've done it. They've done it. They're always behind some funny shit, man.
Yeah, I just always go like, for what? Like, nobody even knows who these 2 people were. The National Guard. We know they were National Guardsmen, but
right. Yeah, it's hard to find. I mean, Yeah, and it did come. Like you said, you were waiting on it. It did come. The people were talking about the the false flag situation, this being set up by the CIA, and I forget the reasoning. I was reading some of it earlier, but I forgot. But people always they try to break down their thought process on why they're thinking that. But and I don't know. I mean, I know there's been reasons before in the past where they would the United States would pull off some shit like this, but it's usually trying to go to war because there's so much money in war.
Yeah.
Now I don't think that would lead to war. What happens? So that to me that doesn't really make any sense as far as that goes. But
No.
there's been.
I think he was just a nut, dude, and happened to find an opportunity, took it, and I mean.
It is crazy how sometimes we can't just chalk things up to the motherfuckers are crazy. The people get radicalized and, they plan these things out for a while and they just wait for an opportunity to take it out. Some people are just nuts, man.
They are.
That's all there is to it.
People are just nuts. And it just happens that it was 2 National Guards members. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean,
because I mean, like with the snapping and shit like that, I was actually on the way home was listening to a documentary about a shooting. Well, it was like a mass murder, but it was a dude in southern Louisiana. He was a crabber, and some local family had cut his crab traps, and they basically laughed him out of a bar whenever he confronted him about it. So he got himself and his 4 sons and loaded up shotguns and went and killed 24 people that were involved in either stealing the crab traps or knew about it and didn't say anything, or that laughed at him in the bar that night. And they went around and slaughtered,
When was this?
Like I said, it was back in the 80s.
So that was a CIA operation, you thinking?
Maybe. No, but he just snapped, he was like, they said he was a decent guy. Everybody liked him. And he just was like, no, y'all aren't going to disrespect me and cutting my crab traps and shit. And he went after him.
Damn. Yeah, see,
That's crazy.
This is one of the false flag thing with this DC shooting. This is what people are saying, basically. The CIA staged the attack using him as an asset to justify Trump's deportation policies and to ramp up fear of Afghan refugees. So it's like, these people, my policy isn't working good enough, as far as trying to remove all these people from the country. So we're going to sit there and pull off some shit like this to make people say, oh, we got to get rid of all foreigners, or illegal foreigners is kind of where some of the, I'm going to say kooks go. Cause
But we don't need a shooting to say we need to get rid of illegal foreigners.
No, but you need crazy shit like that sometimes for people to say, to get majority of the country behind you. It's kind of like with the 9/11 shit. A lot of people are not the 9/11. Excuse me, the weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
Where we went after Saddam Hussein. Well, the majority of the country was behind it in the beginning because they were up there telling us that this man had, weapons of mass destruction and he's a danger to us and the world and we have to take him out. We got to go to war. And everybody's like, fuck yeah, and then they go do it. Come to find out there wasn't anything there as far as that went, but it fired up the American people enough to where they were behind the politicians saying, fuck yeah, let's go to war. And they've done that over and over in this country. So I don't
believe it, but like, I feel like half of what Trump got elected on was getting rid of the illegal foreigners.
Sure. Oh, I'm with you. Yeah, I don't think this has anything to do with that because normally, like I said, false flags are normally done to initiate a war of some sort because war is so profitable. You know what I mean? There's so much money to be made, and the government, they love these long wars. It's just there's never-ending wars that are just pouring in the money. Either that or they go destroy some shit, and then they these American companies, they get contracts to go rebuild what the United States just fucking destroyed. That's true. So there's just so much money in it, and I just don't see this being a tie like that, to anything that crazy. I just think it was a lone idiot, and I mean he apparently had, maybe he did have some mental issues with the PTSD. I don't know. He's not talking, of course, but
no.
So, but anyway, I don't know. Like I said, it didn't take long for that craziness to come out. I'm sure there's a ton of people that probably believe that because they want to believe everything's a super conspiracy, which don't get me wrong. I do believe there's a lot of conspiracies that are true, so it's always worth digging into. But I try to follow the money when it comes to that stuff. And I just don't see it here. Not to say I'm right. Maybe maybe there's somebody out there that, can convince me otherwise, but I just don't see it being that big.
I don't either.
So anyway, that's just my thoughts for what it's worth, which isn't
Nope,
much.
I'm with you. I don't see the conspiracy in it, but
No.
I'm sure X will try to convince me otherwise.
But still in all, if they're going to send people, foreign or domestic, to do things like this, they've got to start at least mentally preparing these people that anything can happen. I mean, it's especially when you start seeing the way that the media and, the politicians on the other side start ramping up the rhetoric and just demonizing people. It's dangerous, man. It's been over and over now. We're seeing this political motivated violence at least. And, it's getting crazy, man. It's getting out of hand. And now, of course, CNN, they're out there, the Afghans are now living in fear in America. So that's what we're worried about now after this. After one of them, tries to take out two of our people, now we're supposed to be sympathetic, about the other Afghans living in America. And it's like it's always, reaching for the wrong thing. And it's all because of politics,
Yeah.
It's nuts, but I don't have much sympathy for them,
Fuck them, fuck them.
There you go.
So
there you go. That's how you do it.
Have you seen PETA's like their campaign on Thanksgiving and turkeys and shit?
And the only one I saw was a meme they posted. It was a turkey talking like, "I wish I could live," or some stupid shit like that.
I've just been seeing like their erotic cartoon memes of people stuffing turkeys.
No, I haven't seen it.
So odd.
Oh, Lord. It's funny. Every year PETA comes out with that shit, every Thanksgiving, and they just get blasted on social media. It's just everybody sharing pictures of meat, and their food, and I'm sure they know it. I mean, they know they're about to get a shit ton of engagement, and sometimes
and they
like
do
they say there's no such thing as bad publicity. So
nope.
But it happens every time they get ratioed on X, or Twitter, or whatever you want to call it, and it's crazy to watch. Funny,
I haven't seen PETA all year until Thanksgiving, and they start posting memes about stuffing turkeys.
Yep. Yeah.
Did y'all bought Butterball this year?
I don't know what the fuck we bought. I just ate it.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it.
Everybody was bitching about Butterball again.
Why? What'd they do?
Some videos sourced of two workers fucking the chickens or something like that, fucking the turkeys.
What?
Well, I mean, hey, there's probably a meeting for that somewhere. There's a organization going on. You like to fuck chickens?
I thought last year they had something going on with them too.
Yeah, I think it was the same thing. It was just brought back up because people just were buying Butterball and they were like, they're fucking the turkeys. Don't buy Butterball.
Damn. Well, they had Queens man. He's been convicted of gunning down his nephew in a petty dispute about who was paying for the chicken at his family's barbecue. Now, I mean, if there's ever a reason to gun somebody down, it's definitely fighting with a relative over who's paying for something. I mean, these people are nuts, man. 40 years old. He was initially thrown out of the family home over his fight with his nephew. He came back with a firearm, of course, stormed back into the place and shot his younger relative 10 times.
Oh, my God.
Over an argument. The gunman's 20-year-old niece was also hit multiple times in the leg and grazed by a bullet in her forehead. She survives, continues to recover. But, of course, they found this idiot guilty. It's unclear, though, how much he was asking his nephew to pay for the chicken. So maybe that makes a difference.
It might.
And how people feel. But he's another one. During his arraignment in 2023, his lawyers claimed he was an Iraq War Marine veteran, and the PTSD talk came up. Now,
PTSD for what? How? You're talking about chicken.
Well, but look, I'm not even going to pretend like I know what that's like to have, PTSD after being a veteran in the military.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
It's supposedly anything. I mean, it'll
arguments.
Set you off. Now, the worst part about that is it was disproved by the prosecutors during the trial. So if somehow his lawyers came up with this, we're going to say he's a veteran. Like that was never going to be dug into.
Like they weren't going to go into it.
Like he's some
let's make
secret,
sure.
like he's some secret ops fucking, he has no history, on file. So that was easily disproved, but they were trying to use that and it didn't work. But he faces up to 50 years in prison, man, and all over,
How much chicken though?
That's the thing.
Like, was it a couple drums, or like, was it
Popeyes?
Rotisseries?
No, I think they were going to barbecue it. So apparently he thought he owed me some money for this chicken. Now, I'm with Justin. It makes a difference,
Yeah.
If it was a lot of chicken, then we can kind of justify it now. But really, just to think that people take anything that far,
Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it couldn't. I mean, jeez.
But
like I said, I mean, regardless of how much it is, but I just can't see you spending that much on chicken that you get that heated about it, because I mean, at the end of the day, you're splitting it. So say you spent, I don't know, fucking $400 on chicken, right? It's a lot of goddamn chicken, but you're still only like, now y'all are arguing over $200,
dude. $200, man.
It is.
No, I know. Honestly, that's first thing that crossed my mind when I seen that article. I'm like, I mean, the shit people go crazy over. Now, not only did you killed someone, but you ruined your life over it's just like we were talking about the other night, like the road rage shit. Like it's just so.
Ooh, I don't know, dude. I get mad.
You do.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Like you know what? I really just want to drive you off of this bridge right now.
Well, did you see the
just
one
die.
the one we talked about the other night when it was just me and Justin on here, but that case where that kid shot into the car a week or so ago and killed the kid in the car seat over road rage. Yeah, and he admitted, like, it's on the cops' fucking chest cam and all of the kids saying, "I did it. I didn't know there was a kid in the car. I fucked up." And the base, everybody's like, "What the fuck are you doing shooting the car anyway?"
Yeah.
But there's a child all over some road rage bullshit, and that it just the way people's minds just boom, like this is the best course of action is to pull out a gun and do this, and that's kind of what over some fucking chicken dispute. Just walk into a house and start pumping rounds. It's just so nuts to think like that.
They had leftover beef from last Thanksgiving, what that was.
They had to. Dude, it had to go so much deeper than just some money for chicken.
That was just the straw, man. That was the last one.
But then again, I don't know, man. Maybe some people might be that nuts, but I'm with you. It just seems like it had to go a little deeper than you owe me some money for this fucking chicken. So I'm going to gun down everybody in this motherfucker. I don't know.
David Fury wants to know, do we have any advice for a young married couple? He's 22 and she is 21.
Yeah, get out of it now. No, I'm just kidding.
Divorce.
David, what's going on, David?
Communication.
Yeah, man.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, I like this one here. Agree to delete all your social media. It can be a problem. But no, for David, God, my advice after being married for years, man, is Jesus, I guess communication, like Kristen said. I mean, things start to, might bother you about what somebody else is doing, and you just let that shit fester and fester, and then eventually, somebody explodes, and also not every argument is just is life and death. Some people are so quick they got an argument and it's like, I just don't want to be with this person. I mean, it's like, people get this fallacy of like, there's just perfect person and perfect relationship out there. I just say, man, look, you got to be able to deal with each other's bullshit. And that's just all there is to it. You just find somebody that'll deal with yours. You deal with them. And, as man to man advice, keep your dick in your pants unless, it's with your wife. But that's probably the big one.
That is the biggest.
Let's try to do that, but no, I don't know. That's a better question for Dr. Phil, but it is a good question.
It is a good question. And if she has an iPhone, don't put an Apple tag in her car because it will notify her that she's being followed by an Apple tag.
So if you're going to spy, do it sneakier.
Right.
That's how
get her an Android.
Let her find out that you're spying on her. That's how you keep.
Well, that's why you got to make sure she's got an Android.
Well, if someone ever gave me an Android, I'm breaking up with them.
Yeah, don't get an Android to start with. That's Kristen's advice.
Yeah.
No, well, if you got a spy on her, it's probably a problem anyway. And if you really feel like you got to keep tabs on somebody that much, then either you've got an issue or you've got issues going on in your relationship. But you know, I don't know, man. That's a tough one, dude.
It really is.
I've been married once. I said that was the only time I was ever going to do it, and so far, that's it. I'm still married. It's been years, but that's what I always told myself. I was going to do it once, and that's it. And boy, do we have our fucking arguments. But I just don't think, it's just how people are. Anytime you're around anybody too much, you're going to get on each other's nerves. And I think that's something that young couples have to realize, because they just think that, we start arguing, oh, this is it, it's just better off being with somebody else. Or somebody starts, is a little bit nicer to you at work because they're, just, how people are, man. It's always some workplace shit going on where the guy's being super nice to the girl and she thinks that, oh my God, he's telling me how beautiful I am. And my husband he doesn't do that no more. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, he's trying to fuck. I mean, once that's done, then it's all going to go right back to how it is, how it is in your household. So don't fall for that shit is what I like to tell women and men, I guess. But, it's,
and keep your hobbies, man. Like, find your balance between hobby and home, because you'll be fucking miserable if you give up every hobby that you have because you need to spend every moment that you have extra with your wife. Like,
I need to
keep
find
your
a
hobbies.
Hobby. I do have a hobby.
fun.
What am I talking about? Never mind.
Well, yeah, but like Justin said, with hobbies, the problem is too, you get a lot of the other person in a relationship, they can get jealous of your hobbies, and that's on that person too, to realize that everybody needs their space. You know what I mean? Now, unless you're doing nothing, but because I can fall into that category where sometimes I get so fucking tunnel vision on something that I stop paying attention to everything else. So I got to reel myself in sometimes, but as long as it's done in moderation, where like you do your thing, I do mine, we get away for a minute, we go in our own little zones, and then we meet in the middle. I just think it keeps it healthy. I mean, and that's kind of how we do it now. I mean, she's got her little things that she's into, I've got mine, and like I said, I tend to go overboard a lot with my hobby, so I got to kind of try to reel that in, but I do realize that it's a fault, so I got to chill out with that, because I will,
David,
dude, I will.
Don't
David,
listen to Dirty Money. That's horrible advice.
What's Dirty Money talking about? Where's he at?
Get a side piece.
Dirty Money's either never been married or he's divorced 4 times. So. Get a side piece. So anyway, we're the wrong people to be getting marriage advice from. Or fuck, YouTube is the wrong place to be getting it for sure. Did y'all see that dude at Campbell's Soup? Kristen, you eat Campbell's Soup? Like chicken noodle soup?
Yes.
You might not after this. Man, they just fired one of their fucking like high up people in the company, man, because he was caught on didn't know he was being recorded apparently, but he was calling the product shit for fucking poor people and highly processed food.
Wow.
He's claiming that the soups contain bioengineered meat, like chicken from a 3D printer, and going on a racist tirade against Indian employees, calling them idiots, and on and on and on and on. And apparently he was recorded saying this, and somebody called him out for it, and they fired that person at first. And then I guess once the higher ups got a hold of this information, they ditched his ass. Because, I mean, people were, for one, it's like you're saying that they don't even use real fucking chicken.
Right.
So
well, I'm not surprised. It sits in a can for 4 years.
3D printed meat.
Yeah. Now, of course, the company's coming out. I'm going to say, they're coming out saying that's not true.
Well, what else are they going to say?
Well, right. They're defending their products, emphasizing high quality ingredients, good food at a good value. It's for fucking poor people. That's like, and I'm thinking,
I don't know. I think anything that sits in a can that long, like obviously it's not real. Like, I'm not surprised. I'm still going to eat it. I don't care.
Well,
but
and it's not always
Chef Boyardee is.
Yeah, it's not so much that it's
SpaghettiOs.
This stuff's not real. It's just so like preservatives and shit in it.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm with you. Nothing should be able to sit on a shelf. That, especially, we always talk about like cheese. That's the big one everybody talks about. How long that shit lasts in your refrigerator. It should not.
Yeah.
You know?
refrigerator Velveeta sits on the non-cooled
Just
aisle.
fucking just sits
Like,
in
how the fuck?
Yeah.
That's like what
It's
kind
next to
of
the
plastic
bread.
That's so true. That Velveeta shit in a little box just sits on the
Yeah.
fucking grocery store shelf, and then we eat that shit, just
It's so
sucking it
good.
down. You know, it is good. It is
It's
good. It's got to be good
delicious,
for
but
you.
I don't know what the fuck it is.
Oh man, well, like I said,
I heard
Campbell's-
like Chef Boyardee and shit though, like the reason that they can keep it on the shelf so long is that they basically they put it all in the can uncooked, and then they run it through the sterilizer and cap it at the same time, and
Come
then
on.
so it's running through the sterilizer, everything's sterile, it caps it, and then the heat from the sterilization cooks the SpaghettiOs inside of the can while it's sealed.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think they're just trying to make it sound more fancier than it is. There's just so much preservatives mixed in it, and
Maybe there
I don't
is,
know.
but
yeah, I don't know how you. I just know. I mean, I guess that's like, pasteurization, sort of, because isn't that what they do? Like they'll
Yeah.
boil something and they'll just go straight from hot to cold real fast, and it kills everything, and then they cap it. They got to seal it real fast.
yeah,
you know?
I'm not into Scientology, but I think so, something like that.
Scientology. Oh man. So anyway, I don't know who's eating Campbell's, but just go ahead and keep eating their plastic chicken.
Not
Do
since the
what you
last time
do.
I had the flu.
I will say though, I have always picked out the chicken.
So you don't even eat the chicken?
No.
Okay.
Or like, they have like the frozen like chicken pot pies. I'm
Yeah.
not eating the chicken.
Well, let's say that's the best part.
Because
That's
I
the whole
know, I'm
point.
like, this is probably like
So you
plastic.
just eat noodle soup?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
That's
Where
fair.
have we? Oh, we have just let this go to shit tonight. Hey, what do y'all think about the president calling people retards? It's like,
Nice.
is it like
Who was it?
Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota?
Eh,
Tampon
it's
Tim.
deserved.
I mean, it's my initial my knee-jerk reaction is to laugh when I see shit like that. But I'm thinking, like, I mean, do you think we'll ever see another Trump? Like,
No.
like in other words,
No.
you think people are going to try to mimic what he's done? You know,
I hope not.
because of the reaction he gets, and apparently the following that he's gained just from
Yeah.
doing shit like that. I mean, he called the governor fucking retarded in this big long post that he put out, and of course I thought it was hilarious, and it's pretty much spot on. But a lot of people are like, really, like, this is our president, and he's using words like that. So I wasn't sure, like, how I'm supposed to feel about our president speaking like that.
He likes to express
Yeah, but
himself.
we talk like that in our own home, so it's
That's exactly, and that's what my thing is as far as how Trump's become such, a figure of being able to attract that middle class, because exactly this type of shit he sits around and says, that's how we talk. I'm not saying we
Right.
run around, retard, but I'm saying just the
Ooh.
well, I know that's your favorite word, but no, but point is, I mean, so many people, the shit we say behind closed doors, Trump's just out there screaming that shit. So it's like everybody's
Yeah.
behind him like, fuck yeah, but it's just not what we're used to when it comes to a president. They're supposed to be held to a higher standard. Now, my question really was like, are we going to get a bunch of copycats out there just trying to fake that brash, attitude like Trump has,
We might. I mean, I feel like that's kind of what Buddy from Louisiana, the senator, does. What the fuck's his name? Old dude.
Kennedy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
the old
you know,
guy
I feel
who's
like he
like,
just says-
next time you need help, call a crackhead?
Yes.
Yeah. I think
Oh,
he
he
just
is
says crazy shit for the
hilarious.
camera, but
Well, that's true, and people love it because I see people make
Yeah, he's funny.
montages of the shit he says.
yeah, it's funny what he says. But like I said, I think I don't know who was doing it first, whether it was Trump or him saying crazy shit. But
Yeah, I don't know. I see a lot coming from Gavin Newsom's accounts on social media now, where he's trying to be that brash guy with the name calling. So I already
Yeah.
see some of these politicians starting to try to mock, what he's doing, and just try to copy it, I guess. And it's like, I don't know if it works for just anybody. Because it's like it comes so natural out of Trump. It's a shame to say that.
It
but
really
he's
does.
like a natural asshole,
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like you will see more of the cursing and whatnot on official
Right.
videos and interviews and shit with these people. Like you said, like Newsom, like you see it now in interviews, he's not really watching his language, which,
Sure.
I feel like you'll see more of that come around, but I don't know if you'll some of the crazy shit Trump said,
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, I like, I like this comment here, as soon as I get this stupid pop-up off my fucking screen, get to it. But anyway, I'd rather have Trump as a realist than a fake with backdoor deals. That's true. And I think that's what everybody kind of, liked about Trump, is that he just seems to come off the cuff with this kind of shit. Like he's not rehearsing any of this. Especially, I mean, you could see it when he gives a speech, or, he's out there doing them rallies back when he was doing them. It's like he would go off script so much, but then just talk some of the realest shit, and people were like, "Oh fuck, he just called that person, whatever name he was throwing out." And I think that's like Piggy. I think that's what people, I want to say, I guess, respected, for a lack of a better word. With Trump, just how real he was, instead of one of these trying to be polished politicians, that want to say the right thing every time. Same ones that basically refuse to go on a podcast like Rogan's because they can't talk for 3 hours without having a script, and it's just not what Trump is. I mean, if you've seen any of that shit when he was sitting down with Rogan, it was just 3 hours of just talk. And there was no questions ahead of time. It wasn't even a interviewish type thing. It was just talking, and then politicians are not doing that shit. They're not. Everything's so scripted. So it's going to be funny to see if people start trying to follow in Trump's footsteps, because I just don't think it's going to come off as natural to the people,
Yeah. Maybe he is rehearsing it. Like Trump's in the bathroom mirror, like, Tampon Tim. No. Timmy. No.
Well,
Tim is a retard.
The funny part is he's got that. Of course, that video that came out a while back where he's got that assistant that types out all this shit for him on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just always imagining what's going through her head when he's sitting there like, okay, telling me he's retarded. And she's got to be like, sir, are you? Yes, type it. He's seriously retarded.
It's like the Kevin Hart joke when he was saying he was his mom told him to go tell his teacher a bunch of shit, and he's like, so do you want me to say it exactly like that, or do you want me to take out some words?
Yeah, when he was telling let her curse. No, you tell her. I'm gonna beat her ass. My mama says she's gonna beat your ass. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Let's see. If they're good and moral, that sounds like they are putting on for the camera. That's true. That is a true, kind of how politicians get looked at, that nobody believes they're genuine, including me. I don't believe any of them have anybody's best interest in mind except for, their own interest. And that may not be true for all of them, but that's just how they're perceived to the general public, and it's their own fucking fault. It's a dirty game, and you almost have to be a dirty person to excel in it. So I'm with the person who made that comment. It never comes off as real if they're up there just trying to be nice, and because you see it so many times. It's like now there's so much footage of these old politicians on the Democratic side that you can pull up of them saying the exact same shit that conservatives are saying now about minorities, about illegals. You know what I mean? And now they feel like they're on this moral high ground because they're saying the right thing. Yep. But 15, 20, 30 years ago, they were saying the exact fucking opposite. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't even know if it was that long, right? I mean,
well, probably
there's
not.
Videos of Obama and, Michelle Obama and Obama talking about getting rid of illegal immigration, and shutting down the border, and now it's a problem.
Yeah. No, that's true. And that was a big thing back in the day that I've heard of multiple politicians, the Clintons and the Obamas, like you said, just, talking about this immigration shit and the borders and how they need to be protected. And if you're illegal, you need to go back over the border. And then now it's just let everybody in, and it's crazy to watch them flip flop. And then people wonder why you don't believe a fucking word they say when they, try to sound like they're good people. It's always just this virtue signaling, it's weird. It's a weird game that they play. and it just sets a bad name for all of them. When, like I said, there may be some out there that are genuine, but I don't believe it. And
No, I don't
never
believe it
will.
either. Because
None of them.
everybody's got their customer service voice. All right, like and you can
Yeah.
tell when it goes on.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Their customer service voice.
Yep.
I hate it.
You got to do it at work.
So I'm like,
all
I
day
do
long.
not talk like this at all.
I'll be on the phone like,
You have to baby people.
motherfucker, like that. Shit's so fucking dumb. Customer, like, hey,
Yeah.
how are you doing today, ma'am? Yeah, what can I get you?
No, this person here, appreciate the comment. Bill Clinton and most of the Democrats now in office voted for Immigration Reform Act 1996, signed into law. They removed illegal aliens, due process rights. Exactly. But now these people are fucking heroes. You know what I mean? And it's amazing how people fall for it. Like they just ignore. And look, a lot of the young people don't know, but you could show them. Oh yeah, or you can even show them a video that like we're talking about, and they will not care, because the biggest defense I've ever seen is, well, people can change. People change their minds. I'm like, these motherfuckers don't change. They change what they say to benefit whatever whatever money laundering they're trying to do, but they don't fucking change their hearts. They don't. And politicians are fucking sick, man. It takes a special person to want to be that. It really does, especially if you're going to succeed in politics. You're a different kind of person, and it ain't a good one.
There ain't no morals in politicians.
Nah, shit, no. You can't. You'll never make it. You'll never make it. That's probably the ones that have short-lived careers, like this Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know, Kristen, if you know the blonde woman. I'm trying to find a way to explain her to you because you don't really follow politics, but she's like fit, anyway, I don't know if you even know who I'm talking about, Kristen, but
what does she do?
She's deciding it's after 5 years she's done. She's getting out of politics, or at least out of Congress. You know what I mean? She's finished. She's fucking retiring. And her story is that she just sees that these politicians on both sides are doing nothing for the American people, but making a bunch of bullshit, promises that they never come through with, that, they're doing nothing to help people in this country. And so it sounds good, the reason that she's quitting. Now, not everybody's falling for it. Some people think there's, deeper reasons behind it, or she's trying to fuck Trump, over somehow, because it came right after Trump sort of came after her, because she spoke out against him, which you can never do.
Right.
You know what I mean? You cannot speak out against Trump because he's coming at you. And
she
then all
was
of
bitching about something with the Epstein files, huh?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Because she's one of them's like, look, who are we protecting here? Why are we protecting pedos? Get these files out. Well, Trump don't like to hear that shit, because she was kind of giving him hell for not, releasing it. Oh. And like I said, you speak out against Trump, he comes after you, and all of a sudden the MAGA cult comes, right behind him. And she basically, announced that she was retiring shortly after that. Now, of course, she's doing it after her 5 years, which is where you get your pension and all that shit. But, can you blame her? Why?
Wait, what's happening with the Epstein files?
Well, last I heard, they're going through them right now with lawyers and shit to see what they can legally release. So that's a good way to hide behind anything you don't release. It's like, lawyers said that, legally, we had to redact all this, every single name in it. Sorry. So that's the story they're going with right now, that they've got legal teams.
Who?
Man, I don't know.
Government's going to get arrested?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, who's coming after you? You're the government, What
we're going to arrest the USA.
Yeah, it's nothing but a shit ton of excuses, man, with that Epstein stuff. But it's just making them look worse and worse. Even this administration, they look terrible the way that they're handling this. But that's their latest go-to right now. So we'll see. It's kind of interesting to see what they do release, but at the same time, I don't expect to, see anything special in there anymore. So
you think Leonard Skinner's in the Epstein files?
Hell no, dude. Don't you talk fucking dirty of anybody in Leonard Skinner, dude. Greatest band of all time. Files all of Hollywood on them. That's why. I do think there's going to be a lot of, that. I don't know if everybody in Hollywood was invited to the island, but I'm sure there's some. I'm sure there's some big names on it, man. Politicians, Hollywood actors, Apparently there was a lot of, I think it was more though, if it goes to the point of like this big blackmail scheme that they were talking about, then it's probably going to be more of just worldwide, like political figures, people that control things, because, they were trying to put the people in these crazy positions and say, oh, guess what you were doing? And we got it on film now, with these secret fucking mirrors and two-way mirrors with cameras behind, all kind of crazy shit that was supposedly going on. So it just seems like one big blackmail operation that was going on. And I don't know if anybody in Hollywood is that big to be trying to blackmail for anything, Not to say they weren't on the island enjoying some of the perks, but, I think when it came down to this deep shit, I think it's world leader type shit that, is on this list that they don't want people to know about, including our leaders,
Yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, you would think if you were doing some shit like that, you'd be trying to get people that could put you farther in life, and I just don't know how Brad Pitt would do that for you unless you were just bum ass broke. But
yeah, that's what I mean. I don't doubt there were some, Hollywood people, because, let's face it, it was a uber rich dude on a fucking island, and it's like, hey, they got this party going on. A buddy of mine, his name is Jeffrey, and he owns an island. You want to go? Well, fuck yeah, let's fly out. I mean, you don't think nothing of it. So there's no telling how many people actually went, you know what I mean, that had nothing to do with any of the crazy shit that was going on. But, but then you never know how many of them did, once they got kind of offered the goods over there, and they're like, fuck yeah, I don't know.
It's like a big Hangover movie, just, accidentally got roofied when they got there,
Yep.
What's up with Diddy, bro?
I don't know. This guy wants to know if Bill Gates. Did you hear that one? You didn't hear that rumor going around?
Me?
Any of y'all?
I saw the picture.
Well, it had to be real. Damn it. Then, Justin, you may just answered the question then. It was 100% legit. Yes. Bill gave Trump a facial.
I think Trump was cleaning a stain off of Bill's pants. He spilled some spaghetti. He was down there wiping it up.
That's still the weirdest.
Yes.
Is it real?
It's real.
According to X.
Oh, we're going to go with it. It's real. Yeah.
Which I actually saw a whole Facebook thread.
Matt, you're wrong. Hold on. Matt, you're wrong. It's real. It's not AI.
I saw a whole Facebook thread. There were like 26 pictures on it, and it was all that Trump Bill picture, and they were running it through AI picture detectors, and basically every single one was saying that it was 100% real.
Why did this rumor start? Wait, I saw one actually.
Because there's
people were saying that Trump was gay, and then all of a sudden he started posting pictures of his wife. I saw that.
Who isn't gay nowadays? So I mean, it surprised me. No,
it said on that Facebook post that now Trump can, he can take the award for being the first openly gay president. He'll get another one under his belt.
Damn. Well, there you go. Yeah. Speaking of pictures, I still want to know what's going on with that painting of Bill Clinton in that blue dress, like right when you walked into the door in Epstein's house. It was just weird. Like what? It's like, what were we doing?
Probably lost a bet.
Could be that simple. You're right. Because it just seems, because look, they're guys, they're having stupid fucking conversations, sitting around drinking, and they're like, I'm telling you, Arkansas is going to win. And then you're like, well, I'll tell you what then, Bill, if they lose, we're painting a picture of you in a fucking dress and we're putting it on the ball. He's like, deal, Bubba, deal.
Sounds like something that would come out of a man cave.
There you go.
10 days out of 10, dude.
Well, we just solved that problem right there. So who are we going off about in the comments here? Who's guilty of that?
Trump.
Oh, Trump. Yeah, Trump's done everything. Where's my boy that's going to run for president here? There he is. Dirty Money. Dirty Money said these snowflakes, earlier he was saying these snowflakes don't want him to be president. So that makes me want him. That makes me want him to become president. He sounds like
presidents and side chicks, right? Dirty Money.
Oh yeah, he was the one telling the married guy to get side chicks. That's how you keep your marriage healthy. Oh man, what else going on in the news, man? Anything?
Do y'all watch Stranger Things?
I don't. but I heard some crazy shit about it. Speaking of
Dude,
that, did you
it's
watch it?
insane. Yes, I stayed up all night watching
Did
it.
was the opening scene anything to do with a child having oral, being taken advantage of?
And Stranger Things?
Yes.
No.
Okay, because that's what somebody was saying that they don't advise you watch it with small children because the opening scene was some kind of nasty shit with a kid getting raped or something.
No,
Did it
there's
have
nothing
anything
sexual
like that?
that goes on in that show. No.
Well,
Are
then
you
why
talking about
would
the same show?
I don't know. I think so. I think that's what I was seeing somebody talking about. Maybe I'm just maybe I was dreaming it. I don't
Yeah,
Maybe I
no.
just dreamed somebody was down on it because I was finding reasons not to watch it. I don't know. But I could have
Mm-mm.
swore somebody was on X saying, not to watch it because of that.
There's
Now you're
nothing
gonna,
sexual that goes on in that show.
no, fuck that. Now you're gonna make me find it on here because I know I'm not making shit up. Somebody was really saying that it was disgusting. That and maybe I'm thinking of the wrong show. So before I go blasting that show,
Yeah,
I do want to find
it
out.
definitely is the wrong show. It's not Stranger Things.
Okay, well let me see. But it's
Like
will tell you,
Taylor watches it.
but that's the point that the person was making. That a kid, children are watching it, and the first scene is some crazy shit going on with a child.
Mm-mm.
Now, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong show, but it was a show that it's big enough to where somebody was saying that, and you don't need to be watching this. I'm very disappointed. So let me see if I can find it because now it's going to bother me all night because I don't want to sit there and give that kind of review to the wrong show.
Yeah,
but I could have
it's not.
swore that's what it was. Let me see.
Did y'all watch The Beast in Me? Did you watch that, Kristen?
I think I started episode 1, and then I started watching something else.
Wow.
Here it is, right here. Jack Posobiec, I think. I forget if that's how you pronounce his name, but he's a prominent figure on X. Warning for parents. The new Stranger Things begins with an extremely graphic pedophile scene of a young child being raped by an older man. Is that true at all?
No.
Because then he got community noted and said this is completely made up. There is no scene in the first episode of season 5 of Stranger Things. So it's like that's what I read though. And this guy has 3 million followers on X.
It's on Twitter?
Yes. And it's like,
Let me find it.
why would you say that? Why would you spread that kind of shit?
No, it's
If
it's a kids show. Like, I know there's some crazy kid shows nowadays, but it's like a bunch of kids fighting monsters and stuff like that. It has nothing to do with anything like that. That is actually very irritating. What is this person's account?
Look it up. Jack Posobiec. Now, if I'm Stranger Things or anything to do, I'd sue the fuck out of him because he's got a huge platform. Like I said, he's got 3 million followers on X, and he's big on the political scene. And I never took him really from reading his stuff as just being full of shit. And he's still arguing that point because somebody called him out on it, and he's saying that that person's taking the side of child rapists by calling him out on that bullshit that he said about Stranger Things. So
Not
he's
true at
still
all.
sticking by it. I
Nope.
didn't watch it. So that is a weird claim to make, knowing how easy it is to disprove it if it's not true. That's just odd to me that he would do something like that. And like I said, he's got a big enough platform where if I'm the producer or something of that show, I'm like reaching out to a lawyer, like what can we do about this? I mean, because that's
Yeah,
a
well, you
terrible
see
thing to
everybody
say.
in the comments is saying he's lying.
Yeah, because it says, spoiler alert, a kid learns to embrace homosexuality, and because of this, he immediately develops world-saving superpowers. Somebody else is saying about that.
No.
He's like, actual plot of Stranger Things or some shit.
No, it's not. What
It's
a bunch of
weird.
losers. Go watch the show.
Did you find his account on X?
Yeah, I found it.
Yeah, and he's like kind of sticking by it, but I don't know.
Maybe he's a child rapist. Stop projecting.
If any of y'all are out there
Jack.
on X, y'all follow me, the Shane Michael on X. If y'all are on Twitter there. Just want to shout out my handle real quick. And if you're paying attention to the stream, we appreciate it. Y'all make sure you subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff. It helps, pump us up a little bit. We do appreciate it. But anyway, so apparently Jack's a fucking liar. Kristen's
Yeah.
saying Stranger Things had nothing to do with that. And you said in the comments, people are like, what are they talking about?
Anyways, it's such a good show. People need to watch it. I have to wait a whole month before more episodes come out.
How many do
Great
they have?
ending. Episodes?
Yeah, to this one.
8.
I don't know. I've never seen it. I don't even know what it. Like I said,
I think it's
more
8.
of. I'm definitely not seeing it now after Jack's review. I don't want to watch that stuff.
He's a liar.
He's a damn liar. Let's get him on here. Let's DM him. Jack, calling you out. No. Anyway, what a weird review. But it's probably nothing I'd want to watch anyway. You said it's more kid oriented, huh? Well, you're watching it.
Yeah, it is kids in the show.
Yeah. Nah, I'm good.
It's like sci-fi.
I don't like
stuff.
kids. They get on my nerves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're aggravating. But anyway, so president's calling people retarded. We touched base on that. Campbell's soup uses plastic chicken. Just kidding, Campbell's soup. Some weirdos trying to normalize pedophilia. We went through that story. Let's see. Yeah, somebody shot their fucking nephew over some fucking barbecue chicken. Justin, you asked about Diddy earlier. Last I seen, he had fucking put up some money, man, to have a beautiful Thanksgiving in prison. Like the whole cell block had a beautiful Thanksgiving dinner. It was unexpected. Everybody thought they were just going to get some dry ass turkey and some funky ass fucking, whatever else they get in there on Thanksgiving. But supposedly he spent a little money, had him a nice little layout. And they all got to enjoy Thanksgiving dinner. So
hell yeah,
In prison?
held it down for the block.
Yeah, in prison. In prison, he probably gave a little bit to the guards, to kind of like, let's get this stuff in here. I'll pay for it. But he seems like he's having a hell of a
turkeys in their
time.
butts.
Yeah, I've seen a couple pictures of his, on the I just caught that. Look, I'm going to need you to smuggle this in. 37 turkeys. Figure it out. No, but I've seen a couple pictures of him, lately, and he's all smiles, man, just hanging out, doing his thing.
Did he have baby oil?
He did. In one of the pictures, it was the funniest thing on the table in the background. Look it up.
Of course he did.
So,
God damn Diddy.
Yeah,
He just
last
don't
I
learn.
thought he got attacked not too long ago in there. Wasn't that one of the stories, or am I making shit up again? I tend to make some shit
know.
up.
I feel like I saw
the
something
one
like
that
that.
shot Meg the Stallion got attacked in prison.
Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
Maybe that's who I can't keep up with him.
No,
I
I
can't keep up.
feel like I saw something about
I
Diddy
saw
being
some too
attacked.
where Diddy was, he was attacked.
He was
or-
oiled up like, oh no, he's gonna get me.
yeah, he's slipping.
Somebody
You ain't
help.
getting Diddy. Yeah, you ain't getting Diddy. Anyway, so all right. Anything else important enough to stay on here about? People probably tired of hearing us yap. Y'all make sure y'all subscribing. I see y'all out there viewing. Nobody fucking hit that subscribe button. It's not that hard. If you're paying attention on X, because we are streaming on X too. Follow. It's not that fucking hard. We appreciate it. Anyway, we'll be back next week, live and direct here for y'all's enjoyment. And we do appreciate y'all checking us out for sure. And until next time, man, y'all be good.